Prices dropped, prices dropped. Don't bring any more. No, no more. I won't take it. Big drop in price. No, no, no. Oh, still bring so much. No more. Let's just finish this load and forget it. Don't bring any more. Special offer, special offer. Fresh lychees, only 2 yuan per 1 kilogram. Uncle said just 30 cents. Take it back with the tractor. First feed it to the pigs for 2 days.
A video posted by a local influencer shows piles of lychees left on muddy ground, resembling garbage. A man from Guangdong, seeing a modified version of a local opera, remarked that due to the surplus of lychees this year, they are left to feed cows, resulting in significant losses for the fruit farmers. The price of lychees has dropped to just 1 yuan per kilogram, causing one farmer to angrily stomp on the fruit, crushing it. This year's lychee production in Guangdong has been excessive. The province planted 660,000 acres of late ripening lychees, with an expected yield of over 2 million tons, which is 400,000 to 500,000 tons more than last year. In Gaozhou, Guangdong, the area dedicated to lychee cultivation accounts for a quarter of the national total, and production is projected to surpass 700,000 tons. However, prices for ordinary lychees have fallen below the cost of production, leaving farmers to lose 0.6 yuan for every kilo sold. Even premium lychee varieties are struggling, with prices plummeting to 4 to 6 yuan per kilo. Most lychees are now priced at around 1 yuan per kilo and are still hard to sell. One farmer mentioned that the cost of picking the fruit in the early hours of the morning doesn't even cover the transportation fees. The situation in Hainan is similar. Every season, lychees, which used to sell for 60 yuan, now face market saturation. In some orchards, the lychees are piled high, and farmers warned that if they do not sell out by the end of June, the price could drop to 1 yuan per kilo. Lychees have a short shelf life, and once picked, they begin to spoil after 3 days. With too many unsold goods in the hands of distributors, many farmers have no choice but to lower prices in an attempt to sell quickly. In some cases, unsold lychees are simply discarded. The biggest challenge for farmers right now is figuring out how to sell their lychees. On June 24th, a video vlogger reported that the lychee market in Gaozhou, Guangdong had completely collapsed, with prices reaching rock bottom, and farmers were unable to transport the fruits fast enough. Another video shows lychee farmers working under heavy rain to deliver their goods to buyers, reflecting their anxiety over the situation. A farmer shared his feelings in a video on his farm, describing the challenging conditions.
Brothers, we've been picking lychees for a few days now, and the price has dropped to 6 yuan for 2.5 kilograms. That's 2.4 yuan per kilo. Brothers, can you imagine that? It is moral decay, or it is a distortion of reality that's causing this. The labor cost to pick 1 kilogram is already 0.2 yuan, but we are selling it for 1.2 yuan. Do you think that's expensive? It's wasted in the mountains, rotting into mud, and no one cares. This isn't a thank you gift to nature. It's an outright insult to farmers. Enough said. Let's keep picking.
On June 24th, a vlogger shared that farmers are really facing difficult times. A vlogger in Chongqing said,
Brothers, I finally understand what things are valuable because they are rare means. For example, our lychee harvest this year is a huge bumper crop, but how should I put it? It's not even a bumper crop, it's just overflowing, flooding the streets. Every farmer grows lychees. Some are getting dozens of kilograms, hundreds of kilograms, and others are getting thousands or even 5,000 kilograms. We can't eat them all and sell them, the price is so low. The buyers come, and the purchase price here is only 1.4 yuan or 1.6 yuan per kilogram, some even as low as 1 yuan or 1.2 yuan. It's flooding the streets, it's worth nothing. Compared to last year, it's like night and day. The fruit's picked, but we can't even finish eating it, so it just rots. And then we feed it to the chickens. Some of the trees are so tall, we're too lazy to pick them, so they just rot on the tree.
A vlogger in Chongqing said,
以前在广东打螺丝的时候啊，我记得很清楚。
I remember very clearly when I worked in Guangdong before, during lychee season. The price was definitely 20 or 40 yuan per kilo. I never imagined that today's lychee would be just 4 or 6 yuan. The difference is just too huge. The high-end fruits from previous years are now ordinary fruits, 4 or 6 yuan per kilo. I really never imagined it. This is Chongqing, not Guangdong.
这下就是真的不要了。
Really don't want it. Really don't want it. Don't bring it back. Too much traffic. No, no, no more. The truck is full.
A blogger stated that this year is the worst year for the lychee market in history, with the purchase price at 1.4 yuan per kilo and farmers have to wait in long lines to sell. Today, 4 people picked over 300 kilos of lychees but only received a little over 400 yuan in return.
Hello， 大家好，我是小东啊。
Hello everyone, I'm Xiaodong. Today is June 21st and the price has dropped to 10 yuan for 2.5 kilograms. Can you see that? The current shipping volume is basically at its peak and it'll stay that way for about a week, around 7 to 10 days. Right now at our farm we're processing up to 150,000 kilograms a day and the fruit quality is still very good, but this year's prices haven't met the farmers' expectations.
哎呦，难搞哦。
Oh no, this is tough. We thought it would be an easy job, but things went wrong at every turn. We drove along the road, but we hardly saw any lychee buyers. Everyone started getting a bit anxious. We had no choice but to keep pushing forward. We drove a long way and finally found a place that buys lychees, but the price here is only 2 yuan. This uncle arrived at the buying point, hurriedly unloaded the lychees from the car, hoping to sell at a good price, but the boss looked at them and shook his head, saying he didn't want them. So the uncle had to load the lychees back into the car and head to another place. It's really tough for farmers. After all their hard work, they can't even sell what they've grown. Now a farmer arrives on a motorcycle. Yesterday, he took his lychees to another place and said the price was just 1.8 yuan per kilo. How is that possible? 1.8 yuan isn't enough to cover the labor cost. The boss only took a few baskets, but he didn't want the rest because the fruit wasn't as bright in color. It had ripened too much on the tree. The lychees that farmers work so hard to grow are facing such difficulty selling. It's really tough. The vlogger mentioned that before even finishing picking the lychees, the market collapsed. Good quality lychees are now worth only a few cents per pound, and the poor quality ones are often discarded. The farmer is now conflicted about whether to continue picking the remaining lychees or leave them. The price of lychees has dropped so low that it is even cheaper than transportation costs. In the orchards, lychees are piling up and people are using them to feed pigs and cows, treating them like waste. In recent years, China's economy has stagnated. The government emphasizes a so-called economic optimism while downplaying the market crisis for fruits. Reports focus only on the illusion of a bountiful harvest. On June 18th, a media outlet in mainland China reported that the purchase price for lychees is only 2 yuan per kilo, and the money earned is insufficient to pay workers. Farmers in Maoming, Guangdong have abandoned harvesting due to the low prices. The local Agriculture and Rural Affairs Bureau, however, claimed that this is an isolated issue and that most market feedback is normal. On June 14th, the state-owned People's Daily published a report from Guangdong research team claiming that the lychee growing region in Maoming is a year-round gold mine. The report quoted farmers proudly stating, "It's busy, it's exhausting, but it's sweet." The estimated lychee production for one village was around 13,000 tons, with a projected value of 150 million yuan. On June 23rd, a vlogger stated that despite lychee prices being at their lowest in 3 years, she is still happy.
救命啊！我今年的荔枝要到8
Help, my lychees this year are going to be sold like cabbage. This is the lowest priced in 3 years, whether it's Hainan, Guangxi, or Guangdong's Zhanjiang, Zhaozhou, Maoming, Dianbai, Zhenchen, Dongguan, or my main battlefield in Shenzhen. No matter the variety or region, the branches are all overloaded. Oh my god, I can't finish picking them. I can't keep up. Let me tell you, the orchid that produced 2,500 kilograms last year is going to produce about 10,000 kilograms this year. I've been managing lychees in Shenzhen for 13 years. Took a break for 1 year. You all know. Anyway, I have 100 acres this year and I've only seen prices this low 4 times. I'm selling cheap this year. Normally this would be hard to accept, but I'm actually happy. Compared to selling 2,500 kilograms at 80 yuan per kilo, last year I'd rather sell 10,000 kilograms at 20 yuan per kilo. It's better to share the joy than enjoy it alone. Instead of selling it at high prices and having little, it's more important that everyone can afford to eat well. I love hearing you all say, "Wow, today's lychees are so cheap, I'm going to eat more." From my 13 years of farming experience, I can tell you, with this kind of yield, we'll have to wait at least 3 more years. However, some vloggers have pointed out that the phrase 1.5 kilos for 10 yuan has been flooding social media. Amidst the celebration of affordable fruits, they warn not to let the hard work of farmers go to waste on the ground.
水果10块钱现金，真的自由吗？
Fruits at 10 yuan for 1.5 kilogram. Is this really freedom? Is this something to celebrate? In the past, this phrase made me, as a Shandong person, cheer with excitement. It felt like a fruit paradise. But recently, when I actually went to the farmers, this phrase felt like a bucket of cold water pouring over me from head to toe. I personally saw 0.4 yuan per kilo black watermelon in Chongzhuo, Guangxi, and 2 yuan per kilo black leaf lychees in Xintang, Changcha. We braved the rain, picking all afternoon, over 100 kilograms, and sold it for 220 yuan. Are these fruits not tasty? No, it's not that. They just can't fetch a good price. Constantly, farmers tell me, what's the point of picking? After the labor costs, we're barely making anything. Let them rot in the ground. Fertilizer prices go up every year, and farmers wake up early and work late, enduring the hot sun, getting bitten by mosquitoes and bugs in the orchards, waiting eagerly for the harvest. And what's the result? No joy in a bountiful harvest, just deeper despair. The cabbage-priced fruits can't even cover the cost. I used to think that by using low-priced fruits to attract tourists, the tourism industry would flourish and the economy of Guangxi would improve. But while the GDP numbers look good, the farmers' wallets haven't gotten any fatter. These cheap fruits have sweetened the whole country but soured the farmers. Since then, whenever I hear someone excitedly shout, "Wow, Guangxi fruits are so cheap, 10 yuan for 1.5 kilograms," I can't help but think of those hunched figures, of those hands covered in old callus yet unable to hold on to a few coins, and the fruits rotten silently under the scorching sun. The freedom of fruits should also be the freedom of the farmers. After a year of hard work, they should be able to get a fair price, so their sweat isn't wasted and their hopes don't keep fading away in the fields. Another vlogger who raises deer expressed a greater willingness to offer practical help to fruit farmers.
南方卖不掉，北方买不到。
Can't sell in the south, can't buy in the north. This kind of situation that no one wants to see has happened. Guangdong and Guangxi have had a bumper lychee harvest, but the old farmers can't be happy about it. They ride their tricycles or electric bikes to sell their lychees, waiting in long lines, but they hesitate to sell because the price isn't right. Last year they could sell for 3 to 4 yuan per kilo, but this year they can only sell for 1.2 to 1.4 yuan. After seeing this news, I immediately placed an order for 20 boxes. These 20 boxes may be insignificant, but I hope more people will buy lychees to help get these unsold agricultural products moving. Why am I doing this? Because if we don't help these lychee farmers, if the price of lychees is bad this year, they won't make money and may even lose money. They might not grow lychees next year. The number of people in this industry will decrease and lychees will go from being unsold to being out of stock. The price for consumers will definitely rise. The situation in agriculture is actually the same for everyone. Whether it's growing lychees or raising deer, a lot of it depends on the weather. When doing this kind of work, all the income is calculated based on projections, and it still depends on supply and demand and market condition. Everything has to wait until the products are sold and the money is in the pocket before you can count it as income for the year. We are all in agriculture. He grows, I raise. If I can help, I'll lend a hand. Helping anyone is helping everyone. These 20 boxes of lychees are just my small contribution.
After the collapse of the lychee market in China, some overseas netizens commented that the lack of guidance from the agriculture sector is a problem. They suggested that lychees could be turned into canned fruit, dried fruit, or even wine, and expressed regret that so much fruit is being discarded. They also acknowledged the difficulty farmers face. A Taiwanese netizen recalled that in the past, when there was an oversupply of fruit, Taiwan would make canned fruit, such as lychee cans. Some people express concerns about the fruit safety of Chinese lychees, pointing out that they are often heavily treated with pesticides. For fruits brought in supermarkets, many preservatives are used for long-distance transportation. One netizen who grows grapes shared their thoughts. When people admire the low price of fruit, they don't realize that the money saved by buying those fruit will eventually be spent on hospital bills. You get what you pay for. If you don't want to trade your health for a little bit of savings, don't be tempted to buy cheap deals. Another netizen remarked, "Very sweet lychees, even flies and mosquitoes won't touch them because they're toxic." A blogger mentioned that it's not just lychees. Other fruits in China's production areas are also not selling for good prices.
今年到现在为止，果农一片哀。
Up until now this year, the farmers are all crying out in despair. I haven't heard of any fruit or region this year making any good money with high prices. What's going on? Have people stopped liking fruit, or are they saving their money for air conditioning bills? Before, lychees from the production areas were selling for 3.6 yuan per kilo, and they had to be sold off at a huge discount. Last year, watermelon was really hard to sell, from 1700 yuan per ton to 2300 yuan per ton, and the price just kept rising. But this year, it's the opposite. Starting at 1500 yuan per ton, it just keeps getting cheaper, and not only is the price low, but the yield is also low. It's not that people's seed technology has gotten worse, but the weather this year has been especially tough. Which fruit in Sichuan hasn't been dried out this year? And in Guizhou, which fruit hasn't been drenched? Oranges, kiwis, apples. If the market price is bad, at least they can be stored. Watermelons, peaches, and plums? Let's try storing them and see. A couple of days ago, a herd from the neighboring town in Taoyuan, they filled up a whole truck, and the total payment was only 700 yuan. I bet the boss is still crying in the bathroom now.
在我们广西，这种西瓜都是拿。
In our Guangxi, these kinds of watermelons are fed to the cows. Here, cow, have a watermelon.
今天的火龙果。
Today, there are more dragon fruits than usual. The whole street is full of them. It's packed.
A video shows that dragon fruit is being sold for just 0.6 to 0.8 yuan per kilo, with the goods completely blocked on the road, unmoving and filled with dragon fruit. Currently, people are generally reflecting that farmers can't sell at low prices, while in other places the prices are so high that people can't afford them. In an interview video, a lychee farmer said,
0.7 or 0.8 yuan or 0.9 yuan, we can't even cover the labor costs. I never expected the price to be this low this year. Basically, in the areas where it's 0.8 to 0.9 yuan, we can't sell them, and many city consumers can't buy them.
The explanation from Chinese state media for the sharp drop in lychee prices this year is that it is influenced by factors such as increased production and reduced logistic costs. However, this vlogger argued that the root cause of the price crash for Guangdong's farmers is not found in these factors. The real challenge lies in a second aspect. The vlogger pointed out that last year, due to unusual weather, lychee production decreased, but this year has seen a dumper harvest. Farmers had hoped for a good yield only to face price slumping. Some farmers, fearing an oversupply and inability to store the fruit, were forced to sell at panic prices. However, she emphasized that the real cause of the price collapse is that middlemen controls the sale channels and pricing power. The vlogger lamented that life for farmers is truly difficult. They look forward to a good harvest, but once they have one, they end up trapped in the dumper harvest equals cheap sale vicious cycle. This pattern has repeated year after year, from watermelons in Ningxia, chili peppers in Hainan, radishes in Gansu, or to celery in Heilongjiang, and now it's lychees in Guangdong. Wherever such events happen, people online often start "help the farmers, buy, buy, buy" campaigns, but such actions only temporarily address the sell channels and do not fundamentally change the situation. She believes that to truly resolve the issue, the problem must be addressed from the perspective of the industry structure. First, farmers must be given pricing power. She cited South Korea as an example, where a non-profit agriculture association alliance directly manages the sales channels for agriculture products in 1,800 production areas across the country, helping farmers reduce dependence on middlemen. The United States also has similar mechanisms, such as the Sunkist Growers Association, where farmers who join are provided with unified transportation and sales services to avoid price suppression due to information asymmetry.